Ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, welcome to another time with our wonderful coaches and guests from around the globe. This is our global discussion on mental health, illness, and the solutions to these areas, this important area today as well. I'm Kevin Vaughn. I have the pleasure to have Miss Miriam Wallin over in Norway, ladies and gentlemen. This is a global discussion. We have Mr. Dean Adams down in Australia, ladies and gentlemen. And we have our good friend as well, Mr. Patrick over in Uganda. God bless you today. We're going to have a great time today. And we're going to get this over now to Mr. Dean Adams. Thank you so much, Deon, for your time today.
Thank you, Kevin. And welcome, Patrick.
Thank you. Welcome too.
It's I've had a break for the last 10 days.
Yes, sir.
Which is important because I work very hard, diligently at what I do, but I still carry the mental health word across the planet.
Yeah.
I've just come back from a spiritual journey in Hawaii. When the issues with mental health are just as important there as anywhere in the world. Miriam's just come back from the States. And I would say that where Patrick lives in Uganda, their mental health issues would be similar. It's a worldwide issue, not just in Australia, America, Uganda, Norway, England, no matter where you live. Mental health problems are worldwide. Regardless of whether it's family issues, abuse, trauma, no matter what it is, the mental health issue is worldwide. This is why we brought this to the foreground and started this initiate. It started from a seed of an idea, which we've run with since. Both Miriam and I are life coaches, but I am also a psychic and an energy healer. The difference is very not great, but it's about the intention of what we do. Everything we always do is about the intention, and our intention is to give the skills and abilities to help people live a better life. Both Miriam and I and Kevin have had issues with mental health at one point or another, some more so than others. Miriam, I just hand it over to you for a moment, and then can you express yourself and why we've started this in the first place?
Thank you, Deon. I believe that, like you said, it is something we have all over the globe. Mental illness is something we need to talk about because everyone has some point in life they can feel depressed, anxiety, a depression from their or background or family history. We can feel anxiety for the future. To have that on the table, feeling like something normal or everyone is so important to be able to create something new as well. In my experience, in my life, like you have your experience, my experience is that I am social worker with my more psychosis treatment experience. Like I've been working like a therapist before. And this work I learned to know so many people around me. Was a lot of people are struggling with mental illness. See, that is something normal. We all have that in our life. The most important part is to talk about it. How can we learn from our journey? How can we learn from our background? How can we do something different? And how can we handle it? So that don't limit ourselves. Instead, we can see that some resources to create something new. That's why it's so important to have places like this. We can meet each other to discuss how can we create a new future together? How can we learn from our background to create something new so it don't stop us, don't limit ourselves for a future. So that is why I love this thing to be together with all of you because we can help each other, we can help them around us. And for my own part, I have anxiety in my life. I've been depressed. I have been divorced. I have one work accident that I work for changed my life complete. And I learned to know myself again, to rise up, to see who I am, find my own value, to love myself, to be able to be the person I am today, and also be a better therapist, and also be able to help other people out there. So that's why we have this. So I'm really grateful to have all of you in my life. and also to see how can we help each other and how can we help all them out there to help them find back to themselves so they can create the life they love to have.
It's important, following what Miriam just said, that we come together as one collective consciousness and create as many tools, skills, and abilities, and connect people up in our individual countries with things that will support people with mental health. Unfortunately, in a lot of countries, there's a face of a lot of supposed mental health help, but it's hollow. There's perhaps the intentions may have started out okay, but unfortunately, a lot of them aren't supported in the correct manner. Patrick, in your own country, but even in your own life, how much of an issue is there with mental health problems?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, here we normally have the government has set up like clinics handling mental illnesses or trying to improve on mental health, but they normally prefer to offer medicines, drugs, but there hasn't been other non-drug care being provided. It's quite missing up here. You find every case which comes up, it has to be referred for treatment as given as drugs.
Well, that's a typical response in nearly every country. I would say. Miriam, is that the same in Norway?
Yeah, I believe that is something which is normal, that you feel depressed and feel anxiety and you can't see a reason why you have that. So one easy solution is to go outside and just use some drugs to feel better. To self-medication is quite normal. A lot of people do that. And we live in a society with a lot of drugs, with a lot of addiction, where people try to find easy solution, if that is sex, drug, whatever, something to don't feel the pain they have within themselves, to feel better for a short period of time, because no one wants to feel the pain. So instead to feel the reason why we have this feeling within ourselves and how can we understand them and how can we learn from them. It's so much more easy to go outside, find another new solution, find another lover, find another drug, find something who can help us to don't feel the pain we have within ourselves. It's why it's so important to have things like that, have society like this. We can help each other to find the reason why we have these things and how can we learn and how can we support each other so we don't end up in addiction.
Unfortunate that they really don't ever get to the gestalt or the root cause. And it's impacting most people with mental health issues.
Exactly.
It's unfortunately what happens is they have say an hour with a psychologist or psychiatrist and they go, oh, your hour's finished, you're in the trauma still, come back in a week, a month, or pay at the counter. Next minute they're on a deeper, more drugs than more others, and they're deep in the trauma. They end up worse off. I know with a lot of my own clients that I've seen, you get them to a certain point, they go to a trauma specialist, which is a joke, and then they end up deeper into the trauma without being giving a proper solution. And then you spend the ensuing weeks fixing what they created.
Yeah, and I believe
Miriam, have you struck that with your own clients?
Yeah, in the same time, I believe to go within yourself. I believe the reason why you have these things is always a reason behind why you feel depression, have this anxiety, and that's the real feelings. But in the same time, it's hard to get within yourself because or sometimes we just want to protect yourself. For example, if you have grow up with abuse, for example, you don't want to be remembered about all this time when you get abused, when you lose yourself, when you lose your freedom, when you find the devil within yourself, when you lose yourself. That's quite hard for you to get within yourself, have this feeling, have this pain with yourself. So when we open up for it, we also need to have someone close to us. And I remember my time when I'm working like a therapist, I mostly have a few clients I work quite really close to, because like you said, Deon, we can't just left someone. We know that we have a close connection with them. What's the reason why they have this kind of pain? How can I deeply understand this person? How can I help them to find a new way of thinking? And that takes time, and that is something you need to take time for yourself. Have this kind of relation where it's allowed to spend time together, it's allowed to grow together, to be honest with yourself, because the only way to learn from yourself and to be free is to be complete honest with yourself and allow us to feel the pain, to feel be hurt, to see that we lose yourself on this point and you will never be this person. In the same time, it's also important for my part, for my client, and myself, and be reminded of the beauty we have in ourselves, or little kids we have in ourselves, that you have this little kid within yourself to feel that you are safe. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, that's a bono, Bree.
Yeah. So we can be close to yourself and you can forgive yourself the experience you have in life. All this time we have been abused, all this time we have feel this pain, all the time we have been hurt. When you can see all these things, face it, it's so much more easy to be free as well and create something new and see how that all this bad thing in our life also can benefit us for the future. But we're able to create something new, we need to be completely honest with ourselves and see that is complete fine to feel the pain, to be sad, to have all these things that limit us, to be able to create something new.
Quite a lot of cases that I've found that most people aren't comfortable with their shadow side. If you can actually be comfortable with your shadow side, we all have one.
Of course.
But there's no such thing as darkness. There's only a variation of the amount of light.
Yeah.
It's like hot and cold. It's like turning a tap and adjusting what's there. But we're here to heal, not to harm. We're to love, not destroy. We're to create all the different things in life. We all deserve happiness. Unfortunately, hurt people, but love people, and healed people heal people.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also think to be wise, you need to have this package as well. You need to have this experience to be able to see what the composite part as well. Because if you know what it means to love someone, you also need to know how it is to be hurt, how it feels to be these things. We need both parts in our life. And to be able to be strong, we need to have all aspects in our life. And how can we learn from our experience and how can we handle different? But that's something, like you said, for example, if you're looking for abuse situation, for example, if you don't or aware from it, if you don't work with it, it's so much easier that you start a career or that you start to be abused by yourself instead. So that's why it's important to go into our root case. What was the first place happened in our life and how can I learn from my experience so I don't do the same thing in my future? If, for example, have been abused when you was a kid, if you don't work with yourself, it can end up like the same again. Or if you have been in a toxic relationship, if you don't be aware from it, it's so easy to end up in a new toxic relationship. It's why it's so important to protect yourself, learn from our background, go into a road case, take time to heal, the time to have all this emotion, to be able to learn from our history and to create something new.
And what comes up quite often, if you've lost someone, or even with women losing children through childbirth, if they've had miscarriages, I've heard something came up with a client the other day. Something made the statement to us saying, "I'll just get over it." That was coming from a man. When a woman loses a child, because as Miriam would relay, when you carry a child, that is vastly different to a man giving the seed for that child to be created in the first place.
Right.
But when a woman carries a child, is so much different. I know with my ex-wife, when we lost my own son, when he was only a few days old, my ex-wife still hasn't gotten over it.
Mm.
And that was 33 years ago.
Right.
And I believe that is, to be honest, for my own part, I have abortion when I was young. I couldn't keep my kids. I was travel and I didn't have any work in Norway. And I know if I keep this kid, I can't give this all these things I need in my life. I don't like this idea to abortion. At the same time, I have this with me every single day. I remind me every single day about these kids. And I also know the person I was pregnant with, he also carried this with us to feel the pain, to forgive yourself and know this person is in heaven. They will be there for us as well. It gives us something. We will never have it back. I wish I could do something different, but I couldn't do anything different in this situation. But to see and forgive yourself, and how can we help to create something new for the future as well.
Mm-hmm.
But quite often, Miriam, do you feel like you're carrying any guilt from that?
Of course I do, because that is something you all wonder. My son should be 24 today. You wonder how she looked like, you know. Of course you do that. I believe that is something you need to account for as well. And that's why I feel it's important to have a way we're able to do that. I couldn't handle different. The reason why I couldn't do that, it could be to adopt these kids. But at the same time, I'm to adopt by myself. So I know that isn't a good reason. That isn't a good solution. You will never feel like you are in home if you're adopted for someone. Not for me. Sometimes I know some people feel that they are included when they are adoption, but I didn't want my kid to be adopted in a new family, and I couldn't give this future for these kids they deserved. So I believe that's quite important to see. We're thinking twice that how will it be for me if I do these things in my life? How will that end up for this person in the future? Which kind of person can I be? Because you will always carry it with you. You can forgive yourself, but you can't do anything with your own handle in the future. You can't do something different when you die. It's why it's important to thinking twice. How will this decision make me in the future? How can I do things differently? How can I learn something from it? And I also believe it's important to forgive ourselves, because they will be there for us as well. That was the reason why we had this situation in our life, and we learn from our experience in our life that help us to be a better person as well.
And quite, I know with when my ex-wife and I lost a child, when that moment when they turned the machine off and he died in my arms, that's something that never leaves you.
Of course.
And through my own life, my son died in my arms, my grandmother died in my arms, my father died in my arms, my mother last year died in my arms. But that was a gift. Why was it a gift? Because I was there for them when they needed me. And when my son passed away in my arms, the gift in that was, if we hadn't lost Thomas, we might not have had my son Miles, which is a huge gift in my life. There's always a positive in everything. There's no such thing as a negative. And the gift, there's many gifts in life, but we just don't see it when we're deep in that shit and that trauma or whatever it is that you're going through. Miriam, can you please relay your own experiences?
I agree with you, because we have so much pain in our life. It's why it's so important. How can we see and focus how we can see ourselves? Because all pain will be there for us, and that's a part of our life, and that couldn't be the person we are today without all this experience in our life. In the same time, it's so important to forgive ourselves and to see that is a gift, even in the darkest position in life or darkest moment, that help us to shape us the person we become, to become the best version for ourselves. But to fight with death, never easy. It's really hard for every one of us. And that's why it's so important to have someone close to you, someone who can help you, to support you where you are, so you don't make this journey by yourself, because all of us have different kind of pain in our life. No one have a complete fine life. It don't exist. So everyone have thing in our life we wish could be different. We think we could wish we could do different than what that happened in our life. We all lose loved ones. We all lose things in our life we wish and we could handle better way. But forgive yourself, and to don't do this thing by yourself is so important to create something new.
Regardless of where you are at in life, even Miriam and I have coaches and people that work with us, because you can't see what's in front of you. It's like if it's like a carrot dangling in front of you, you can't see it. That's why even people at our level still need coaches and other people to help us move forward or let go. Like it's like the proverbial onion. You peel one layer off and there's always another underneath it. Patrick,
Yes.
in your own life, in your family, is someone in your life or in your family suffered a loss of a child?
Yeah. Even myself, I did lose who would be my third born. But this one died before birth. And it so happened I needed a girl, and this was a girl. We were expecting to have a girl, a daughter. And then it so happened that it was some kind of mismanagement which went on at the facility. And even my wife, whom I can call my ex-wife by then, she had some kind of belief because the previous time she had a cesarean section, and normally you can't deliver normally when you had a previous car. So, but for her, she had a belief that she could deliver this child normally. So I had to give her a benefit of doubt and allow her continue with what she believed in. But in the end, we stayed in the hospital until they had to tell us that they can no longer hear the fetal heart. Now, they refer us into another facility where they had just to do a cesarean when the baby had already passed on. So it was quite traumatic to me myself because...
Well, that's it. So would you agree, Patrick, that it's just as in essence, it's just as traumatic for the father of the child, not as much as the mother, but it's still traumatic for the woman and the father of the child.
Yes, it is traumatic, both of us. Like, it depends on who is more anxious to receive. Because if you, the father, are so anxious to receive this child.
And I believe at the same time, Deon, I think that it's important to also see the man's position. I believe many men, like this person, when I make my choice to make this abortion, it was something I really discussed with on this time, my boyfriend went. And he was really crying. He don't want to lose his kids, and I don't want to do that either. And I know he has a lot of pain for it as well. I believe it's important to see, even if a man just have his seed, it's fine. But anyway, they have a complete new connection with his kids as well. They want that the same way as much we women want as well. So to see that the legal is to have this kind of pain, to feel that you...
And so happened that this child died of sees it as a normal thing. You get me?
Rob, his internet dropped.
Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah.
Now this is really interesting.
Yeah.
That regardless of what country you're in, the issues are still the same.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned that.
I think tonight is really important to note that regardless of whether it's Uganda, Norway, the United States, England, Australia, you're muted, Patrick. To really acknowledge the fact that any sort of issues, whether it's child loss, traumas through whether abuse or whatever it is worldwide, whether it's men or women, it's irrelevant because the issues are worldwide for men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also believe it's important to see that abuse is something something is quite normal as well. When I've been working like a therapist, I always ask my client, like, approach this: have you been abused? Have someone? I mostly work with young kids, young guys who have psychosis treatment, and also been drugs addicted. So they have both drugs and psychosis problematic. And all of them, have you sometime have been abused? And almost every single person have been that in their life. I was just young guys, I believe. That is something I learned from my experience in high-risk client. These poor people should be in jail and get treatment when working with them, or when I've been working with my young guys. That was quite important. It's why it's so important to talk about addiction, to talk about abuse and how is it to be abused. That is something quite normal. One of my guy, I helped him for a few years. He was selling himself for beer on the train station in Oslo. He was quite young. You know, that is, Norway is a quite safe place. I haven't even imagined someone to sell themselves for a beer on the train station. For me, it's absurd. And I feel how, when that is a reality, so many people have grew up with this thing in their life. So many people have been hurt so many times. And when I work with these people who kill someone, you should never kill someone, I know that. But if I can know that history, that they have grew up in a family history with a lot of addiction, with a lot of abuse all the time by the parents, by the father, every single time, and see how this father also abused his mother, and how jailed his mother, and how treated his mother. One time it got too much and he just decided to kill him. I can't say that is a good, you should do that, but I can also see, understand a lot behind. It's why it's so important to talk with each other, to help each other, to see that is something quite normal as well. And how can we pretend it for the future so it don't happen again? Because all those of us who have that in the background, they don't want to do the same thing in their own life. They want to be a good parents, they want to have a good relationship, they want to feel safe, loved, and belong. And how can they feel to be safe, to feel belonged and feel loved when they have this in their life, to see that they have so much value in themselves? So help them to be the person they are meant to be, even if they have all these things in history that don't limit the future.
Mm-hmm. Really, I think at this point that we'll do a guided meditation, just to help those who may be listening to really just become grounded and accept the fact that it wasn't their fault. Right. They did the very best they could under the circumstances, like Miriam did, like my ex-wife did, like I did in my own life. And we're just at this point, we'll just all just give a moment's silence for those that we've lost. We just give a minute's silence for the children, our parents or partners or people we've lost in our lives. So we'll just give a minute's silence, and then I'll do a guided meditation. So we'll just give a minute's silence for those who we've lost. And while we're in this space, I'll now do a guided meditation. Start to focus on your mind on forgiveness. Focus your mind on acceptance. Focus your mind on compassion. Focus your mind on letting go of the guilt, the shame, the fear of being judged for what you may have done at the time because you felt it was necessary at the time. Forgive yourself. Forgive others that may have transgressed against you at that time. Focus your mind on your breath. Allow your chest to move in and out with the beating of your heart. Don't try and influence or change it. Just gradually breathe in and out as you're listening to my voice passively. Take 3 nice big cycling breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in love and pushing out the pain. Breathe in love and out the pain. Breathing in the love and out the pain. Bring the memory up of that person that you lost, that whether it's a child, a parent, a sibling, an intimate partner, an uncle or auntie, a grandparent or a parent. In my own life, I'll bring up the memory of my mother who I lost last year. When you have that memory of that person, allow yourself to let them go. It's quite often we'll hang on to them when we should be letting them go into their next life. It is time to let them go. It is time, because the soul is eternal. Because your beliefs, your feelings, your emotions are not real. The only thing that is real is the spiritual self, the soul. Forgive yourself and forgive others that may have transgressed against you. Fill your heart full of compassion for those who are suffering. Forgive yourself first and foremost. Allow yourself to forgive but not forget. Allow yourself to love and not hate. Allow yourself to have compassion for other people that are suffering, similar that where you may have suffered, whether it's a loss of a child, a physical partner, a parent, a sibling, a grandparent, or even a close friend. Drop down into your heart. Feel that compassion, that forgiveness in your heart. Now drop down into your tantian, which is 2 finger widths below your belly button. Where your main brain is. Connect that space between that let's call it hara or your tantian, 2 finger widths below your belly button. Put your right hand there and your left hand on your heart. Breathe in and feel the connection between that space just below your belly button and your heart. Feel the energy rising, and then go in connection. We feel it going up and down between those 2 points. Then move your right hand up to your just above your head, which is what's called the crown chakra. Feel the energy rising from your heart till just above your head. Feel the energy moving between those 2 points. Now slide your left hand down just below your belly button. Breathe in and out 3 times, gently, softly. Don't try and influence or change it. Just allow it to move in and out with the rhythm of your heart. Fill your heart full of joy, full of love, full of compassion and forgiveness. Now put both your hands on your heart. Now feel love for yourself. It is not selfish, it's self-love.
Yeah, amen.
Self-love is important. because you must love the one within to let love in once again. Gently breathe in and out 3 times with loving memory, compassion, forgiveness, understanding, without regret. Let go of any regrets, any fears of being judged for the choice that you made or whether the choice was made for you. Let go of any guilt, shame, doubt that you did the wrong or right thing. And just give you a moment to contemplate what we've just spoken of. Now I want you to grab a wrist or a knuckle with one hand or the other. Mm-hmm. What we're doing now is we're going to anchor this in. As you breathe in and out, let it drop into your timeline and let it grow roots all the way back to the first point of creation and all the way forward to an unspecified time in the future. Feel it growing deep into the roots, into your timeline, like an oak tree. It's strong, it's true. The branches are strong, but they still bend and change with the breeze. Feel it going so deep into your timeline. It is strong and true. So go all the way into the future where you made a previous decision, now said is changed. Turn back to the current time and space and see every event in your life, which previously with the decision, it is now seeing it change. See all the forgiveness, all the compassion, understanding and acceptance. Come all the way back to now with the knowledge and wisdom that you've made a new choice in your life to forgive yourself and others.
Yeah.
I'll count back from 5 to 1. You come back into your body, back into the space you're in, back into the room you're in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into your body, back into the space. You're wide awake in every way. Back into your body. Thank you, Patrick, for being attending tonight. It was a sheer pleasure for you to be and join us here tonight. I hope to see you in future in our Thursday night sessions.
Hope to be available, I promise.
You just join when you can. Like I've been away for 2 weeks, but I needed the break. I say I haven't had a holiday in over 20 years.
Yeah.
We'll finish there, Kevin, for tonight because it's nearly 9 o'clock anyway.
Sir. Well, thank you so much.
I would like to extend thanks to anybody who's watching this. If you're watching the recording, reach out through our link and then one of us will get back to you when we can.
Absolutely.
Please, and anybody listening to this, and if they know anybody that's suffering from any mental health issues through trauma, from whatever reason, we have this every Thursday night where possible. Some weeks it may not be possible, but where we can, this will be every week, every Thursday night at the same time. Miriam, would you like to say anything in closing?
Yeah, just thanks for everyone who showed up today and everyone will listen for this recording. And we are together with all of you in these things. So reach out to us if you need someone to talk with. We'll be here for you. Don't make this journey by yourself. We have all pain in our life. We have all history that bring us to the point. Thanks to who we are unique.
So, Kevin, would you like to close off tonight, please?
Absolutely, Deon. Thank you so much. Patrick, Miriam, and Deon, we salute you and thank you so much for your time. For those listening around the globe, this is the global discussion on mental health and illness and the solutions today. And I want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that Deon and Miriam are life coaches. They are certified coaches in this area. I want to make sure you can get in touch with them through their website. For Miriam, Miriam's in Norway, ladies and gentlemen. Anchoroffreedom.com. I want you to reach out to her, anchoroffreedom.com, for more consultation and more information that will meet your needs. You can contact her through our website, anchoroffreedom.com, for your appointment there. And for Mr. Deon Adams, you can go to conscioushealingarts.net, conscioushealingarts.net. Get in touch with Deon to set up your appointment and reach out to him for your specific areas. I want to encourage everybody that has a need to reach out to certified coaches, certified people who are in the area that can give you help or extend help to you in your needs as well. It's so important that we do not keep this in. It's one thing I learned from Deon and Miriam. You must share this and get other people. You cannot keep this in. You must share your concerns and things that you need to have for your own mental health. That means reaching out to others, whether it's family, friends, or someone who is in the professional field. So please encourage you to reach out. If you have any problems, get in touch with Deon or Miriam. Just let me know, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you see this at. I'll make sure you get their website and contact information. And I want to thank Patrick as well. He's working with some people every day, helping the people every day. So Patrick, we thank God for you and we bless you as well on this journey of helping others. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to close out here. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And we want everybody to have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm going to leave you with this. One of my coaches says, remember, ladies and gentlemen, to always outlove, outserve, and outforgive each other. And remember, there's nothing you can't do with the right coach in your life. So Miriam and Deon and Patrick, thank you so much for your time today. This has been great. God bless you. Everybody that's listening, I want you to share this out on your platforms as well. And we thank you in advance. And we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.